Hey guys, I thought I'd shoot this quick video of the Axworthy ghost, my impression of it. It's a little different than normal. We got, instead of white, we got black and white ghosts. So I'm gonna show you how I set up my system and the do's and don'ts of making this system work. I've got about 3 days in this. So I'll take you around each pulley, show you what I did and how I did it. First started with the pulley up on the chimney up there. It's a smaller bicycle rim. It's up probably about 30 feet, I'd say, 25 to 30 feet in the air. It comes down around to this pulley here. It's set up pretty similar. This was an old slide rail that my boy used for his bicycle I took apart. Some conduit with a little bend in it. Used the trailer hitch on my truck to bend it to try to get the right angle so that it caught onto the inside of the rim. You could also twist this back and forth, and then with a set screw you can set the position that works. There's little rubber inside these bicycle tires. Make sure you leave that in there so you don't get caught on the spokes. Then it runs over. As you can see, I got 2 ghosts on the line. I got one that goes over the roof and one that goes by the house. These ghosts I got at the dollar store for $1. Depending on the speed of your line, you might have to slow it down or speed it up. I found that if you make a bunch of loops in your line first, then fasten this so that it slides back and forth, because this line will spin. So you want to make it, so whenever this line spins, it don't spin this up and around your line. Here I placed a sinker, a fishing sinker on, crimped it, and I had a lot of problems with this, so I ended up tying a knot around it to keep it in place. And I also, well, this isn't the one. This one's loose on this side. You definitely don't want to tie these tight because this line spins a lot. So from here it goes down. This is my drive pulley. As you can see, the gearing is really low. I actually had a bigger pulley on here. It was going way too fast. I had nothing but trouble with it. This is Weed Eater fuel line with a piece of all thread. Actually, I think it's a piece of a bolt or something that I cut off. I can't remember. But it's not real tight because you don't want it to be too tight to where you hit something and then you end up breaking it. So I'm saying the diameter of this is probably only about 1 inch. The diameter of this bicycle tire, I'm not 100% sure. I know it's a smaller bike. It goes around the pool here, and then this keeps it under roof so the motor don't get wet. This motor's way too big, but another word of advice, if you're going to use a motor, make sure that it has a built-in fan, because I tried to use a fan motor which don't have a built-in fan and I burned it up right away. But it could be as small as that. It does not take hardly any effort at all to spin this thing. So then from there it goes out to this pulley, or bicycle rim. The hardest part of this whole system is getting these rims set. For this one, for instance, whenever the ghost comes up to this rim, it pulls down on the line and it wants to slide off this pulley. So you got to go with a happy medium. The bigger the rim, the harder it is to keep this line straight with your rim. The smaller the rim, the easier it is to keep it on the pulley. The problem is then the ghost will whip around real fast when it turns direction. So with this one here, I had the line really tight, but I made it so that it would pivot. You come back here, you can hook a bungee cord and keep constant tension on that line. I actually just set this one up last night. I used to have it attached to that sign, but I thought the state wouldn't like that too much, so I had to move it. From here, it goes right up, back up onto the chimney pulley. So I'll turn this thing on and let you guys see exactly how it works. Oh, and I also put these lights on the ground shining upwards so that in the nighttime it kind of makes them glow. So we'll fire this thing up. So as you can see, it whips around that smaller pulley that's up on the chimney pretty fast. I'd recommend using the bigger rims, but like I say, they're harder to line up to keep the line on them. The line I use is 80-pound fishing line. I was gonna get 100, but there was none available at Walmart at the time, so I just got the 80, and it is very strong line. So that's gonna conclude my demonstration of I guess flying ghosts, because they're not white, but hope you make out as good as I did on this project. I know I'd left it run for hours and hours and haven't had any problems, but basically the biggest thing is the speed. Make sure you're not going too fast. That might look cooler, but you're gonna work on it way more. So, see ya.